In the Burning Man community, which is a festival I go to every year, we have this funny saying. It says safety third. And I never really knew what that meant. But for all of you that have safety and security as a number one priority, listen up. Hey there, I'm Sierra Sullivan, and I have the privilege and the honor of talking to many women throughout my days and weeks and months. This is what I do for a living. I empower women. And one of the main values, both values and obstacles that I see come out of women's mouths every day, things that stop them, is their desire for safety and security. So I'm going to bust a few myths for you today. First of all, safety is nothing that can be obtained from the outside. Safety doesn't really exist. It's for children, really. It's to keep your children safe because they don't know any better. But as an adult, it's really, really, really hard to get safe, to be safe, right? You can be safe in your house and there could be a flood. You could be safe in your bed and a tree could fall on your house and crash into your roof and kill you, right? All these ideas of what makes us safe are perceived. True safety comes from within. It comes from knowing that no matter what happens, that you are equipped with the tools and the mindset and the understanding to get through it, right? Safety is truly an inside job. So let's talk about security, right? It's not that different than safety. Security is knowing that you have the funds available to live your life, that you have something to fall back on, that you have money in the bank, that you have somebody to lean on in case you can't stand alone, right? However, once again, that still is a false sense of security, because even if you have money in the bank, if the power went out tomorrow, that could be gone. If you've ever watched the show Revolution, billionaires that had tons of money went to zeroaires because right now we don't walk around with a lot of cash. We're not backed up by gold. There's a lot of false understanding of what security actually means. So I want you to be examining if you are holding yourself back, if you've got money in the bank and you are miserable in your life, but you refuse to spend that money on something or some education or some program or some experience or maybe a trip that will help enliven you and lift up your spirits, and you're waiting for the rainy day in order to experience so that you can actually live every day with safety and security, well, are you really living? I once talked to a woman who really was in a downward spiral. She wasn't feeling good. She was feeling trapped by her life. She was going through a divorce. She was very unhappy and very miserable. And she has a little nest egg in the bank, and she can use it any time, but she's holding on to the nest egg for that rainy day because, God forbid, if something happens in the future and she needs that money, then what is she going to do if it's not spent? But I say, that rainy day is today. If you're sitting around miserable and unhappy, and there's something that can shift that for you, an opportunity, an experience, a workshop, a coach, whatever it is that can help you now to get out of the doldrums, to get out of that fear-based place, to get out of that depression, but you refuse to invest in yourself now, even though you have the means, in hopes that someday you'll get out of it and be able to use that, well, you tell me, are you even going to make it to see that rainy day? So the message I want you to take away with this video today is that if you're clinging to some hope of some future happiness, you've got it wrong. Today is that future. Your happiness is now. And some of the ways that I found to get myself in a happier state is to surround myself with people that have high vibration, that have good feeling, that are positive thinking, that speak in a language of self-responsibility, and that are committed to their own happiness. So that's number one. If you're not happy right now and you're sitting on the idea of safety and security and for a rainy day, Start hanging around with people that are going to uplift you. Okay, that's the only thing that's going to shift you out of that. The other thing is, what do you love to do? And can you incorporate that into your everyday life? I love to be in nature. I love to have the sun on my face. I love listening to good music. I love an amazing cup of chai tea. I love to move. I love to meditate. I love to go for a bike ride. I love to talk with my good girlfriends. Do you resonate with any of these things? If so, are you making space in your life today to get into the energy of what makes you joyful and happy? It's all about joy. We can have the most money in the bank and still be miserable. So my question is, how do you become more happy today without any more resources, without any more material possessions, without any more need for security? What are you going to commit to today to shift your mindset into one of joy? Maybe it's just looking at pictures of things that you love, a trip that you want to take. I want to hear from you because life is way too short to be hoping that that day will someday come. That day is today. What will you do today? Please post your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope I gave you some good ideas. Take care.